They fired me while I was 7 months pregnant. No warning, no compassion. Just a cold email that said, your position has been terminated effective immediately. I remember staring at the screen, one hand on my belly, feeling my baby kick as if even he knew something was wrong. When I called my manager, he didn't even let me finish speaking. He said, we're restructuring. You're not a priority anymore. Not a priority. That's what I became after 5 years of loyalty. I left the office that day holding a cardboard box and swallowing tears so hard I thought I might choke. Outside, people kept working like nothing happened. Like I hadn't just been erased. The worst part wasn't losing my job. It was what came after. My health insurance was cut within 48 hours. My rent was due. My savings were already thin because I had been preparing for maternity leave, not survival. And suddenly, I was alone. No calls from coworkers. No messages from management. Just silence. The same people who used to smile at me in meetings now looked straight through me in the hallway like I never existed. That night, I made a promise to myself while my baby moved gently inside me. I wasn't going to break. But I also wasn't going to forget. I took a part-time remote job just to survive, working through contractions of stress and exhaustion. I built small freelance projects in the middle of sleepless nights. Every rejection email I got from companies I applied to became fuel instead of failure. Slowly, something started to shift. One of my small consulting projects helped a struggling startup fix its entire customer system. That startup grew, then it grew again. And the founder, instead of forgetting me like everyone else, offered me equity. I said yes. Years passed. I built. I invested. I learned every corner of the business world they once locked me out of. And while they continued operating that same company that fired me, I kept growing quietly in the background of a different world. Until one morning, I saw something on the news that made me stop breathing. Their company was collapsing. Mismanagement. Lawsuits. Investor withdrawals. The same place that discarded me was now drowning. And that's when I made my move. I didn't call them. I didn't warn them. I didn't argue. I simply bought controlling shares through 3 separate investment groups. Quiet. Legal. Invisible. The day I walked into that building again, nobody recognized me at first. I wasn't the pregnant employee they had thrown away. I was the majority owner of the company they thought was too big to fail. When I finally stepped into the boardroom, the same manager who fired me was sitting at the table. He looked up confused until he saw my name on the new shareholder list. His face changed instantly. You, he whispered. I placed the document on the table and said calmly yes. Me. Silence filled the room. Then I added, even softer, you said I wasn't a priority anymore. I looked around at every person who stayed silent when I needed help. And now I said, I decide who stays and who doesn't. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. Because the same people who threw me away while I was carrying life were now sitting in a room owned by that same life I refused to let them destroy.